Om Ajnanam Timirandasya Jnanam Janam Shalakaya Chaksharam Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Gurudev, everybody. So, you have any question? Yes, Aram, please.
Jai Gurudev. They say that Krishna gave Arjuna the Bhagavad Gita within a few hours, but yet there are so many commentaries that have been provided about the Bhagavad Gita. Many of us have read the Bhagavad Gita many times. Is there any way that we can capture the essence of the Gita, like Arjuna, who received it within a few hours and attained God realization?
That's a quick way. You see, this is the thing. Everybody look for easy solution. Even if Bhagavan Krishna have given to Arjun in a very short time, but you have to see, Bhagavan, he is a master of time. How long did he really give the Gita to Arjun? Some said many days. Some said few hours. But Bhagavan is a master of time, Here we can see when Vedavyas was writing, this, how he perceived that reality itself, Because that depth of the Gita itself, even if Arjun grabs it within few hours, for example, does we have the same mindset as Arjun? No, we don't have that same mindset. We stayed in a state of dormant. Whereas Arjun was not in a state of dormant, he was in a state of awakening. Can we perceive the Supreme Lord in everything? No, we can't. In spite of knowing the Gita throughout, in spite of studying the Bhagavad Gita, experts have studied the Bhagavad Gita throughout. Does they reach to the point of enlightenment? Great scholar, great acharyas, they have been giving discourse and discourse upon Bhagavad Gita, but yet they have not reached to the point of enlightenment. They have a certain knowledge, yes, but they have not reached the point of enlightenment. It would be wonderful. And yet, when you see a simple saint, just out of nothing, he have that enlightenment of the Gita itself. Yeah. You see, when we study the Gita, our mind is fully absorbed into it, no? But we don't allow our heart to live the Gita. The Gita is not just to study, it is to live. Bhagavan Krishna, in spite of talking to Arjun, even if it is for a few hours or days, he is a master of time. He stopped time. He froze time. Those devotees which is in that state, for them time doesn't matter. They grasp the essence of the Gita. Bhagavan said you should know yourself, who you are. In chapter 10, verse 39 of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan said to Arjun, knows that whatsoever seeds exist in this universe, knows that it is from me. There is nothing that can exist, whether it is moving or unmoving, without me. In that itself, you see that subtotal of whole things. He summarized it in just this verse itself. Giving the essence that he is the source of everything. I am the seeds. seeds stay dormant. Seeds can stay for thousands of years without germinating. But it needs the favorable weather, the favorable condition. When there is a favorable condition, the seeds start to germinate. It germinates, it grows, it forget. One shoot up, become the tree. The other one shoot down, become the root. And there the tree have grown. And yet, the tree have detached itself from the seeds. This is the state of the mind of man when they fully absorbed into the finite reality. They can't grasp the essence of the seeds, where they come from. Here Bhagavan totally said fully that nothing can exist without me. This is the essence of the Gita, but we can't exist without the grace of God. We hold so much upon our limitation, upon our finite reality. But our I, mine, me have become so big. But yet, you don't know even who this I is. You don't know who this mine and me is. But yet, that's the glory that we sing. I, me, mine. The ego is so big that we can't perceive that infinite reality, which is Bhagavan himself within. And throughout Bhagavad Gita, that's what Bhagavan Krishna have reminded Arjuna, that I am that ultimate reality. Nothing can exist without me. If you grasp that, even few seconds itself, you will achieve it. Not few hours, not few days, not few months, not few years, but having that sincerity of understanding that phrase itself. But Bhagavan said, I am the subtotality of everything. There's nothing that exists from me. That self which is inside, it is only me. That is, in simple way, the essence of the Gita itself, of reminding yourself that He is the only one. I may talk to you, I may tell you, but that will not sink in until you awake from inside. You renounce your egoistic nature. You renounce that I, mine, and me. That become only Him. When that become only Him, you will understand. We can say as words, no? Yes, it is His grace. All devotees talk about that. Yes, it is His grace, His blessing, Guruji's grace. But how much do we really sincerely mean it? It has become just a talk. But when there is that deep meaning inside, that which sprouts from deep, from the two seeds, but yet reminding yourself that seeds is the Supreme Lord Himself. That seeds is Vitthal. The seeds is Krishna Himself. And you are sprouting from that seeds itself. You come out from Krishna. You all live in Krishna. And you will attain Krishna. That is the essence of the Gita. Nothing else. The essence of the Upanishad and the Veda is, Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. No? Asatoma, from untruth to truth, from darkness to light, from mortality to immortality. But if you analyze this, that's what Bhagavan is saying. What is the truth inside of you? Is that the truth? No. Is that mind the truth? No. The truth is what resides deep within. Once you, through your sadhana, you absorb yourself, you awake from that deep sleep. That is the truth that will awake, the truth of the self, the truth of the supreme essence, that infinite essence inside. From darkness to light. From darkness. You stayed into that darkness of ignorance. In spite of knowing, in spite of listening to Satsang, in spite of reading the Gita, reading Bhagavad, but yet, whenever there is a slight moment to be into the world, you will enjoy it. A slight moment to be into the finite, you will jump into that. How easily you forget about your true self. That's why, you see, one dwell into that ignorance. One don't awake. People are scared to be awake. People find it a challenge to be awake. People are scared of loving truly. They rather be into that ignorance. That's why they say ignorance is bliss. Because they are in the idiotic state. Into that idiotic state, of course, you will say ignorance is bliss. Because you don't know the true bliss which Bhagavan is giving. From mortality to immortality, again, the self is neither attached to this world or to this body or to this mind, to this intellect. But yet, you think of yourself being that mere mortal. You forgot what that divinity which resides inside of you. It is that immortal self. The same state Arjuna was. No? Bhagavan continuously hammered him to remind him that all the gold may be fashioned in so many jewels, but the essence of that gold stay gold. It can have shapes, it can have names, it can have forms, it can have values, but when it's all melted, it is still gold. The ocean can rise, wave can rise from the ocean. Can the wave be independent from the ocean? It can't be independent from the ocean. It will rise very high, but yet it still finds its roots into that supreme reality. It still finds its roots into that mighty ocean, which is Bhagavan himself. And that is the essence of the Gita. Whatever is happening is only him. We are not independent from him. We are totally dependent on him. And if we want to really comprehend that, we have to dive into that mystery of love. We have to love him with all our mind and all our heart. We can't just study and think that we know him. We have to drink his nectar. Then we will have a glimpse of him. Then we will have a glimpse of what we have inside. That essence which Bhagavad Gita is giving, the essence of the self, is not to hold upon the finite reality of who one is, but to hold upon that infinite reality, that divine spect, that divinity, which is Krishna himself inside. And that is not time, it's beyond time. He is a master of time. In 1 second, he gave life. In 1 second, he can take it. So, that is, in short, the essence of the Gita. Question? Yes, Nish.
Jai Gurudev, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna showed Arjuna the Vishwarupam form because he was his friend and devotee. But Sanjaya also saw this form. What did Sanjaya do to deserve to see such a great form?
Beautiful question, my dear. Actually, there were several people who saw Krishna in his Vishwaswarupa. Barbarik was one. No? You know the story of Barbarik, no? Vedavyas. So your question is, what did Sanjaya deserve? Actually, Sanjaya, what he did was surrendering to his Guru. So he received the grace of his Guru. So the Guru was Vedavyas. So through the grace of Vedavyas, he could also perceive the Vishwaswarupa. Here, not only perceived, but hear everything which Bhagavan was talking to Arjuna. And this is the grace of Guru. But we have to see Sanjaya, the character of Sanjaya. He was a character of complete surrender. So he was not somebody who can be deviated. For sure, the Kauravas have tried their best to deviate him, to side their side. But did he? No, he didn't. He said, no, I don't want to take part into this fight. I will help in translating. I will help to tell the king what is happening. Then he asked, Vedavyas for the grace, but he can be seen. And of course, you see, Vedavyas would not give that grace just like that. For sure, he have great punya. Firstly, to associate with Bhagavan himself, because you can't just associate yourself like that. So, through this, he have attracted the grace to receive also that divine vision. So, okay. Jai Gurudev, everybody.